Hey guys, how is it going? Rick007 here, and I wanted to post this video for you guys because I finally beat a Greater Rift 70. I'm super stoked about this. I haven't been able to do it to this point, and I probably wasted about 10 keystones the other day trying to do it. I made some changes. Mostly I maxed out my movement speed, which I didn't have, and got used to the lightning Archon build a little more because I wasn't used to it at all. This is a big accomplishment for me. One, it unlocks ancient gear. Two, I never thought I'd do a 70. I remember starting to do like Torment 1 and 2 and thinking, man, I'll never be able to do some of those high level rifts. So for me, doing a 70 is kind of a big deal. I should also probably explain to you guys, I'm not really much of a Diablo player up until maybe about 2 months ago when my buddy Razor, who I do the podcast with, the Destiny Rehab podcast, he bought the game and he game shared it with me, and I started playing it and fell in love with the game. Very similar to Destiny. The loot structure, the not open world, but the way you can do bounties and rifts, and you just kind of free to roam the land and explore and treasure hunt and look through dungeons and stuff. It's just a game that very much appeals to me. I guess I'm a loot game guy. I didn't realize this until I got really into Destiny. But anyways, I had been trying and struggling to do this Greater Rift 70. I really wanted to unlock primal gear, primal ancient gear. And Razor actually did it first. He did it a couple days ago, and I had tried that day, the day that I wasted all those Greater Rift keys. And I think I wasted about 10, something like that, and I was losing my mind. Razor was in the chat with me. He can attest I was cussing the entire time. So yeah, that was a pretty bad experience overall. But today I was finally able to do it. As you can see, I'm using the Lightning Archon build with what is it, Serpent Spectre, to pop out the 2 Hydras. Gives you extra damage. The hardest part with this build is that you're incredibly squishy. And again, I am not an experienced player. I've only been playing this game for a couple months. I didn't know jack about it when I was, I recently now started watching videos like Riker and going to places like Diablo Fans and Icy Veins, places like that where it shows you how to optimize and maximize your builds. Prior to maybe 2 weeks ago, I wasn't doing any of that, so it's been it's been a learning experience playing this game. And at first it was just me and Razor, and then we got Danny and Arik on board, so that was pretty cool to get them to play with us. So now there's 4 of us playing, 4 of us Destiny vets. We're from the Destiny clan, all playing Diablo. So it's made the wait for Destiny 2, it's made it very tolerable. In fact, I at this point, I love Diablo so much that I don't know if I'm going to abandon it completely when Destiny comes back, which is any game that was filling time between downtime and Destiny was always abandoned immediately once Destiny had new content, whether it was a DLC or, well, yeah, they were all DLCs, but, some of them were bigger than others, or an event. I guess they had some events that were non-DLC, and I would play games to fill the time, and as soon as Destiny was back, I completely abandoned the game. But I don't think that's going to happen this time. I love Diablo so much. So yeah, I was, whoa, I think that's my first, is that my first death? That was a stupid death too. I remember thinking as the beam was going to me that I should probably move, but I didn't. I have quite a few stupid deaths here. Thankfully, I was already about 5 minutes into the rift before anything stupid happened. 4 minutes and change, I should say. I was really struggling with not having Aether Walker. I'm used to having Aether Walker, so I'm used to having that teleport to get me out of trouble, and having to increase my movement speed. I was worried that I was not going to have as much Archon, or I think it's called Archon, the magic. So I was hesitant to do it, but I thought, you know what, I'm hit a brick wall here at 70. I can't seem to beat it, so let me try raising my movement speed. And literally, this is the first rift I did after that, so it made a massive difference. As you can see, I'm able to kind of avoid enemies better. Not having the teleport, it makes a big difference having that movement speed. And obviously, I'm doing the strat that is recommended, which is try to do as much crowd control as you can when you're not in Archon. Drop your 2 Hydras and try to stay back as much as possible. Usually what I would do in an encounter is I would pop my 2 Hydras, as I'll probably do here, and then teleport away. Oh, I didn't teleport away this time. See, I have this bad habit of teleporting into trouble. And I think I get killed right here. Yep, that was another stupid death. Should not have happened. I really need to get used to popping the Hydras, teleporting away, and then hitting my alternating X and R1, or R2, I should say, which is the Ray of Frost and the Electrocute. I think I did it right this time. Oh, I didn't have a teleport, so I had to run away. I was kind of shocked at the difference in difficulties between greater rifts. I know for a fact that I got an easy one here. It was RNG, luck of the draw. I can't believe I died right there again. It's twice. Those stupid shock towers killed me. But yeah, it's either RNG, luck of the draw, whatever you want to call it. I got a really doable rift, whereas some of them are just complete slogs, as Rays would say, and I got really lucky with this one, and it wasn't too bad. It was manageable. Right around this point, though, I was thinking about quitting. As you can see, I'm a little behind on the timer. I think I get a good little roll going here, and then the next floor was fantastic. I got 2 or 3 pylons on the next floor, and that, oh, there's a pylon there. Lightning strikes, that's a good one. That's Danny's favorite. When you're running a wizard, as people who run wizards know, they're very squishy. So half the battle is just trying to stay alive. And that was my focus on this rift. Because I know I got the DPS. I know I could do the damage. With this build, it's almost impossible not to. Do I still have lightning strikes? I did still have lightning strikes. Lightning strikes and power. So yeah, I got really lucky with the pylons there. As you can see, the Hydras are just melting everything. When you set them up that way, you just kind of sit back, use your... I'm using the build that everyone uses, which is the Swiftness Stone. Well, first off, it's Tal Rasha with the Vyrs, or Veers, or however it's pronounced, combo. And then I'm using Nemesis Bracers, of course, to spawn elites. And I'm using the... was it Fazula's Improbable Chain Belt, which gives you the stacks. I'm using the Swami, which gives you the stacks after Archon, which is super important. I should have done something where I paused the build, but everyone knows the Lightning Archon build. If you use a wizard and you know the internet at all, if you're watching this video, chances are you already know the build. But yeah, Stone of Vengeance, Swiftness, and what's the other one? I'm not sure. Stone of Vengeance, Swiftness, and yeah, I really can't remember the other one. But yeah, Manalt Heal and Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. Yeah, so the basic build is what I'm using. And Starfire is my primary. Royal Ring of Grandeur and Swami. And Spectre, Serpent Spectre in the cube. So as you can see, I got a little ahead here on this floor. This floor was surprisingly even easier than the first floor. I thought for sure when I got to the second floor I was going to get a really tough floor. But I was lucky. This is where I almost screwed it up too, because I thought, should I keep going or should I go down to that other floor? And I thought, you know what, I will just keep going on this floor because things are going well. Just keep doing the crowd control. At this point though, once I was ahead of the clock this far into the rift, I really did start to feel like maybe it was gonna happen. You know, you start to get a little bit of momentum. As me and Razor talk about, sometimes you get rolling and you just feel the momentum. Yeah, those hydras just do work. There's really... And I really got lucky with the amount of elites that were spawning on this floor for being somewhat of an easy floor. I should have turned around and gone back at this point, but I didn't know that. So I'm going to waste some time here.
Need more time.
Oh, actually, you know what? No, I was still running into elites, so this is actually still good. This floor was the floor that kept on giving as far as elites went.
Not ready yet.
This is where I screw up. I should really have just headed back at this point. Oh, I did head back at that point. Should not have messed with that skeletal beast.
Still waiting.
Did I head back? No, you know what? I went forward. What I'm doing right there, I don't know. I don't even know why I'm bothering with that. I'm sort of panicking at this point as well. Just trying to get through it. Once you start seeing 2 minutes on the clock, you go into kind of a panic mode, as anyone who's watching this video knows. I'm also looking forward to doing my first season. Since I started, the season was already in progress, so I figured I'd wait for the next one, which I believe is the 20th of July. So I'm excited about that, you know, starting from scratch and seeing how that goes. I have no idea how that works, if there's like a checklist, or I know there's things you need to do to get certain things. So I don't know if there's a database or if you have to kind of figure it out on your own. As you can see now, I'm getting close to 2 minutes, and was really starting to panic. Hands were shaking, heart pounding, all of that fun stuff, which honestly makes for a great gaming experience. When you're that into the game, that your hands are shaking and your heart's pounding, the game's doing it right at that point. You know, should have died right there. I don't know how I didn't. Archon saved me. That was just foolish. And then I see the pylon, and I feel like maybe this is going to happen. A minute left. Got to hit that pylon and get the hell out of there. Yep, that's what I did. I'm so lucky I didn't die right there. And it was just that hallway. Just made it so easy to melt. Man, I got lucky. There was another elite there. I didn't even know that. Lost my stacks. But I got my Archon.
Still waiting.
Can't even describe to you what that felt like. It was just
I'm carrying too much.
the rapture of joy. Oh, here we go. Now we could see what I was using. Ah, yeah, Swiftness, Bane of the Trapped, and Zeiss Stone of Vengeance. Okay. Is that Gagok? Is that how you pronounce that? Anyway. So yeah, that's my first ever level 70 Rift. And again, guys, I'm a newbie at the Diablo world. I've only been playing a few months, so this is a huge accomplishment for me. Thank you very much for listening, watching, whatever. Whoa, that was loud.